must take your place in the circle of life.
Hello everyone, actually in this video I plan to review the Lion King 2019 movie version. And to tell you the truth, a couple of days ago I went to the movie theater, and so finally I was able to saw that movie that I was waiting for that. And I couldn't not to share my own opinion and experience about something that I saw with you. So I would like to ask you to stay tuned until the end of the video and subscribe, comment and like or dislike if you would like to until the end of the video. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Actually, if I want to start my review, I would say let's start with general. In general, the whole movie was very good, and in my opinion, if someone didn't see the animation version and went to the movie theater to saw the Lion King for the first time, it might have had the same impact that it had on us when we were child and saw its animation version. So in general, the whole movie was in good condition, and for the first I told you, for the first viewer it was masterpiece. But for us who are completely into Lion King and was counting seconds to go to the movie theater to see that, it wasn't masterpiece, to tell you the truth. Okay, if I want to categorize the most famous and prominent and remarkable scenes of Lion King that all of us, its fans, have had memories with, on that sweet memories from our childhood time or even from our youth time from Lion King, we can of course we can mention these five scenes. Opening scene with its famous song, Mufasa Death, Remember Who You Are, final battle between Simba and Scar, and Simba Roar at the end. Okay, let's start with the opening scene. The opening scene was simulated properly in my vision, and it could give you a nice prologue towards something that you are going to see during the 90 minutes in the movie theater, and it was good. But the only problem that I saw in the opening scene was Mufasa appearance. Mufasa appearance in the animation version has had a smile in addition to the pride and dignity. But here in the movie version, in the footage version, they were just focused on the pride and the proud of Mufasa. He was seeing everything from the top without any smile. And another difference between this part and the animation version was Rafiki. Actually, in the opening scene, Mufasa gave a warm hug to Rafiki. But here, no one cares about Rafiki, and they reduced the role of Rafiki significantly. But the rest of opening scene was good, and it can get a pass mark from my eyes. Second thing second scene is Mufasa death. It was very profound and immensely impressive. And if you miss someone, some darlings, some sweethearts in your past, you would identify with Simba at that scene completely. And actually, to tell you the truth, I started crying, and I couldn't stop my crying because it was very profound, and most of the audiences was shocked, and they were able to build this scene as best as possible in my vision, full of emotion, full of reality. You could understand, you could realize and in the sense and feel like the sorrow of losing and missing one darling in your life. And in my opinion, it was the best part of this movie, Mufasa death. It had immensely impact on me. The third part, that is our favorite part, and everyone was expecting for that, is Remember Who You Are scene, is Mufasa ghost. Oh, I don't know how to start this part, but let's start with the impact of voice actor. George Orwell voice in the animation version was the best. When he started to speak with Simba, you couldn't do anything else but listening to him. His voice was something like the voice of God. I wrote it. I read this one among the comments of that is written on the YouTube. But actually, the voice actor of Mufasa here was very good as well compared to the other characters. But in this scene, especially in this scene, the Mufasa ghost, it was unable to have the impact that the George Orwell voice has had on us when we were child and or when we were seeing its animation version. It wasn't able to mesmerize you. It was good, but in my vision, especially during the advertisement and on the teasers, I understood this fact that the voice actor of Mufasa this time is not as strong as the voice actor of animation version 1. And another bad thing, another cons about this scene is its censorship. It looks like that they censored something deliberately. Remember Who You Are were maintained, but You Are More Than What You Have Become was completely eliminated. I don't know why. And Rafiki dialogues about past is good, changing past and past can hurt, nothing. It's completely eliminated from the transcript. I don't know why, really, I don't know why. And it is the big question mark in the minds of audiences as well, that why they eliminated this deep and profound part of the movie. But it is something that happened in the movie, and of course you have heard it. But again, in my eyes, it was good. I mean, it was somehow impressive. But to tell you the truth, before that, I was fluctuated emotionally, and I was just got into the movie. But when Simba took a look in his reflection in the water, it was just like the bucket of the cold water on my head. I couldn't move. I couldn't believe that they ruined my memory. It's not something that I was expected to see. But again, it is worth seeing, and you can see it yourself. The final battle in my vision, the fourth one, the final battle in my vision was perfect. And to tell you the truth, I can't see any imperfection in that. The dialogues was as the same as the dialogues of animation one, but the techniques in the case of technology and techniques of the motion of animals, the way that they move, the way that they walk with pride, was completely fabulous and intact, and I wonder how they were able to build something like this much good. And if I want to describe the feeling that I had in the theater when I was watching that is and compare it to Avengers movie final battle scene, I can say that it will win. The Lion King will win because it was more epic and thrilling than the final battle of Avengers, at least for my body. And I don't know what it would be in your body. And the last one is Simba Roar. Of course, I am sure that you have read it always, that the renovation of remarkable animation of Disney is not as good as its first and initial version, and Lion King is not exception. Simba Roar was the worst part of the famous part of the film, and they were unable to show it from close up. They couldn't do it. I mean, they shoot this scene from somewhere in the Mars planet. It was, and it didn't have any impact on nobody. And someone who were sitting beside me asked me why. I told him why, and not good really. Moreover, in the animation version, there was heavy rain and shower when Simba wanted to roar. But here there was just clouds, and in my vision, the impact of heavy rain for that roar is more on the eyes of the audience than just the beautiful clouds on the sky. And it was all about the famous parts of the famous scenes of the Lion King. But to tell you the truth, another thing that we can mention is songs. The songs are very nice in my vision, and Hakuna Matata was very nice, and it reminds me of my beautiful time when I was child, and it has had nice impact in my mind, and I was able to identify with that scene. I was able to identify myself with Simba when I had nothing in this world. And another thing that I should mention is hilarious pranks between the characters. It was very nice, and during the movie, I was witnessed, and myself is not exception for sure, that everyone just blowed up because of hilarious pranks between characters. And of course, Timon and Pumbaa dialogues were something else in this movie, and I remember that I was just explode when they were talking about themselves, like everyone in the movie theater. Dialogues. The next thing that I should mention is the dialogues between the characters, and especially between Simba and Mufasa. It was very eye-opener dialogues, and educative, and of course profound, and it was thought-provoking. That, oh yes, you would say yourself, oh yes, completely, I agree. And in general, if I want to summarize this review, that I don't want to be more than this long, I can say that I want to answer to my initial question: is it worth seeing live Lion King 2019 version in the movie theater, especially? My answer is definitely yes. 100% it is worth seeing and watching. First of all, when I saw that movie, I was in my world for more than 2 days, and it has had effect on my mindset. I was asking questions and deep questions about my life, the current that I spent to reach this point in my life, and it was very nice. It was immensely nice movie, even for me, who is one of the biggest fan of Lion King animation. Regardless, and one masterpiece about this movie is that although it has had lots of imperfection, although all of the imperfections that I mentioned to them in its famous and prominent scenes are completely correct, and I didn't even expect to see these imperfections and shortage, but again, it was perfect. It was one of the best movies that I have ever seen in the movie theater, because of the impact that it had on my mind and on my body. Avengers impact was 30 minutes, but Lion King impact on my body was for more than 2 days, and this alone is enough to illustrate that this movie is worth seeing, and it is a deep movie. But if I want to compare it to its animation version, as I mentioned before, and as all of the review writers wrote before me, it is 1 mile below and 1 mile away in the left side of this animation version, and of course it is defendable, but animation version was something else. It is just a copy version in a Not bad. It's just a copy version of animation 1, but with new technology. And remember that the environment and the surroundings of the whole movie is very spectacular and scenic. You would see a lot of beautiful waterfalls and beautiful parts of the jungle that is simulated by the virtual reality technology, and I will get 100 out of 100 to them for this part of their work. But again, animation 1 is something else. And another thing that they changed in the scenario is they showed they showed the exact meaning of the circle of life. And if you remember, in the animation version, when Simba sighs, one part of his fur goes by wind into Rafiki's hand. But here they showed it exactly in the circle of life, and the furs of the Simba's body first goes to Giraffe's mouth, then go to somewhere, I don't want to spoil it, go to somewhere, then go to somewhere, then go to ants, and then Rafiki. And it is very educative, and I appreciate that they changed this part wisely. If you have children with yourself, it could be very nice and delicate point that they can obtain from this movie, that how interconnected are these world together, and how a very very tiny part of this world can have its own impact on the other parts of the world properly. And big like for this part. And of course this movie is like the internal expenditure into your body. When you watch this movie, you will ask numerous deep questions from yourself about the way that you have passed until you reach to this point of your life. And you might remember who you are, you might remember who you were, you might remember the targets that you have forgotten in your life, and it will help you to find the inside capabilities and abilities that you have, but you haven't shown them yet. And it could be life-changing movie, regardless of all of this its flaws. It could be a life-changing movie, and I am tempting to watch it for once more instead of watching a new movie again. And it was all about my vision about Lion King. If you like it, please like and share, subscribe, comment, like, dislike. I will read all of your comments, and I appreciate it, all of them, regardless of positiveness or negativeness. So thank you very much to stay tuned with me, and wait for Hobbs and Shaw Fast and Furious 9 movie review with me, with a little bit more technical review. Thank you very much, and subscribe, don't forget.